World Bank's chief economist for Africa, Albert Zeufack, has called on policymakers in the continent to focus on investment that foster human capital, reduce resource misallocation and boost productivity. Speaking at the launch of the October 2018 issue of Africa Pulse, the biannual analysis of the state of African economies by the World Bank, Zeufack says growth in the continent is slower than expected, hence the need for better use of the continent's human capital to be able to bridge the development and productivity gap.
Talent from low productivity activities to high productivity activities. That's misallocation of talent. If most of your educated talent is actually in because even the small stock of human capital we have is misallocated, is not put to the most effective use. And this compounds into lower productivity at the aggregate level, and therefore explaining this gap in productivity between Africa and the rest of the world. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much.
He says policymakers in the region must equip themselves to manage new risks from changes in the composition of capital flows and debts. Speaking on specific highlights from the report, Gail Martin, World Bank country manager, says they are supporting the government skills training program as part of developing the human capital, which is key to growth, diversification and development.
This is a key part of how we are approaching the government's diversification agenda. More money into whether it's fisheries, tourism and agriculture is not going to be the full solution. We need to understand these nuances in why we're not getting this mismatch in human capital and the factors of production more generally. And my feeling is that we are not fully understanding all of the nuances in, for example, the barriers or the factors that influence people's decisions to go into informal sector versus the formal, or continue to engage in the rural and not in the manufacturing or agri-processing. And as we see from our numbers that there has been a decrease in the share of employment for manufacturing. This is not good for Sierra Leone. So in addition to our investment in skills in these key areas of diversification, we are also trying to invest in skills for entrepreneurship. Not everybody that finishes education, the basic education, or even those skills training programs are going to walk into a job. There isn't a job waiting for everybody. And so we need to rethink how even the content of what people are being trained on.
She registered the bank's commitment to continue supporting the government on areas that will enhance human capital development. On debt risk and its vulnerability, Kemo Mansare, senior economist at the bank's office in Freetown, says strengthening the fiscal regime and public financial management, as well as prioritizing efficiency to be able to recover debt, is very important.
We are not against debt. As the chief economist said in his presentation, it's about the use of the debt, how the debt is used. And the challenge has been most times for most African countries, the debt is used for inefficient projects and that do not pay for themselves. We know about Ethiopia had to go back to China to restructure the railway between Djibouti and Addis Ababa because of the way the project is structured. Also, even in planning of the investment, that's where we miss it, because there is no prioritization, there is no sequencing. There should be a strengthened project appraisal system, not only within the Ministry of Finance, but at the central government level. There should be a proper selection criteria, well thought out plan for projects that should be implemented in 5 to 10 years, and how those projects will be financed, other than having projects driven by political motivation.
This issue of the report highlights sub-Saharan Africa's lower labor productivity and potentials for improvement, such as reforms and policies that encourages investment in non-resource sectors. For Star TV News, Amadu Lamrana Bah reporting.